Hello, welcome to Beach Breeze Photography. I'm Chad Nyoaks, and I'm here with the second episode of Photo Thoughts. Things have been really weird because it's April 1st, so everybody's been doing April Fool's type news all across the internet. Various things just completely out there. Some guy put out a YouTube video that was about a filter, and it looked like be a UV filter that would actually shave you for your photos. Yes, this was a filter that you put in front of your lens, like any other UV circular polarizer, whatever, that would not allow the beard or mustache or whatever to come through in the picture. It was a really good, well-made video. It was funny as hell. But seriously, I hope nobody believed that this would happen. Another one was that Pixie was being bought by Getty for $420 million. I'm not quite sure what Pixie is, but I'm fairly certain that it's not a professional site for any type of photography that Getty would be interested in, especially for $420 million. That's not going to happen. Another one was that drones are going to be your taxi in the future. Yeah, I can see that, but they would have to be really, really large drones. And this video showed a DJI Phantom 3 or 4 with a guy hanging from it and the Phantom taking him to wherever he was going. If anybody believed that, they deserve to believe it, and they can buy their own taxi for $1,300. Because really, the DJI Phantom 4 that's come out now, I really want to get my hands on one, and it is really looking neat with the follow me, and it's really going to help a lot with real estate photography. I'm really excited about getting one of those. Another one, another one for those who use Instagram was that they're going to release lenses with the Instagram filter built in. At least 3 of them. I saw 3 of them. So really, if you think that you're going to get that filter look, that editing look in a lens for your camera, go ahead and buy them because, I don't know what to tell you. All right. Let's put a little bit more real information out here. Now that Nik Collection that I told you about last week is free, I hope that y'all went out and got your copy. There is a guy named Tim Gray who's releasing all of his videos about how to use the Nik Collection for free. I'll put that up on the blog post, and y'all can see it at, I don't know where to put it. We'll find out. I'm not sure if this is another April Fool's joke, but I'm really hoping that it is. Out on RR Auction, they are auctioning off the first telephoto lens used in the Apollo missions on the moon. It is a Zeiss 500 millimeter f8 lens, and they are expecting it to go to between $400,000 and $600,000. Now, I don't know. Take a look. I'll put the link up at the blog, and hopefully we'll see if it's real or not. Another social media news. Instagram went down for 15 minutes and everybody lost their freaking mind. Okay, that's not really news. If anything goes down on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, if the system goes down, everybody's going to lose their freaking mind. It's like you can't live for 15, 20 minutes while a website's down. I don't understand it. It's just how it is. And really, I don't know what to say about that. It's just, wow. Okay. So people lost their mind watching Instagram. Also, Friday, Ken Rockwell's site was down. I really hope it's not down for too long. It just said, please try again later. There was no information. I don't know if it was hacked, if he was upgrading his shit, whatever. It's Ken Rockwell. So, hope he's doing all right. In real news, Pele, yes, the soccer player, is suing Samsung for using his picture, using a picture of a model that closely resembles him in an ad to support their products with a photo of some other soccer player doing the bicycle or scissor kick that Pele made very famous. And now he is saying that it tricks the public into believing that he supports Samsung's products. He was not paid for this, obviously, and we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure. He's suing Samsung for $30 million for using a model that looks like him in association with soccer. Not quite sure how that's going to go. But, really, if you're going to put two things in an ad that have to do with somebody, you're using their likeness. So I don't know how that's going to go. We'll have to see. Instagram, in another story, has announced that 60-second video stories are going to be coming soon. This could be good and bad, considering that Instagram is probably going to get a lot more advertisers using this than they are, than their real user base, but they are going to invoke a lot of advertising in their system this way, which could be good for them as far as money is concerned, but we'll have to see how the crowd takes it. Let's see here. We have a new camera was announced by Sony, the RX10 III. It has a 24 to 600 millimeter lens and a stacked sensor for autofocus. 20 megapixels, 4K video, and 14 frames per second when the metering and focusing is locked. The lens is 2.4 to f4, which is pretty nice, especially at the 600 millimeter lens. You have a 600 millimeter f4 on a 20 megapixel camera, and Sony is really showing that they're coming out with a lot of good stuff. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on one of these and seeing how it goes, because 600 millimeters at f4, if it can really keep up, it also has optical stabilization that they say is 4 stops, so it's going to be awesome for video, and I really hope that the picture comes out really well. So far, the ISO being 64 to 1280 or 12,800 is a little lackluster, but it's a prosumer type walk-around camera. It's not supposed to be a DSLR. It's not supposed to fight against the Nikons. The new Sony RX10 III. Why don't these just be? Why do we have to have a Mark II, Mark 8, Mark 42? It's not a torpedo. It's a camera. Why don't we just release a new one that is just release it with a different name? And the ADD, whoever thought of doing that really needs to think about marketing, because now you're talking about the ADD, and now the ADHD comes out, and it's a high definition version of the ADD, but it's only for photographers that have some sort of ADD, attention deficit disorder. So, really? All right. But anyways, that's my thought. And the Sony supposedly is going to be available in May for around $1,500. That is excellent for a 24 to 600 millimeter camera that has, I mean, I really want to see pictures from this thing because it is going to be awesome. Another... All right. This past week in Egypt, we saw another plane hijacked that was a hoax. The hijacker didn't have a real bomb, and he took it and he really wanted to talk to his wife. I haven't seen anything else about it, that why he did it, other than he wanted to get to Cyprus, where his ex-wife lived, and wanted to talk to her. Now, outside of that, a passenger on that plane decided to go ahead and take a photo, not really a selfie as the news called it because he didn't take it, but he had somebody else on the plane take a photo of him with the hijacker. Now, this guy is British, he's 26 years old, and he is a health and safety auditor. Now, if you audited this situation, taking a selfie or a photo with this guy with a bomb strapped to his chest isn't going to pass any sort of requirements for safety. I mean, what was this guy thinking? Granted, this guy, I mean, he was like, if the guy's bomb was real, then he really had nothing to lose. Okay, I understand that. But what about all the other people on the plane? Do you really want to push it to the point where this guy says, okay, boom, or test this guy? I guess you get your 15 minutes of fame as a health and safety auditor, because really the only people that are worried about you are businesses that have to deal with chemicals and whatnot, but not a great idea. But also, I don't get to choose. So they'll figure that out later. At least they have a very nice picture of the bomber. So, all right. All right, one thing that I've seen around, people ask all the time, what type of equipment do I need? What do I need to be working with? What do I need to be shooting with? What lighting do I need? What type of space do I need? Well, it really depends. What type of photography are you going for? Are you going for portrait photography? Are you going for wedding photography? Are you going for glamour photography, fashion? Are you going concert photography, music photography, real estate photography? Are you going for all of them? There's so many different things that you need to think about when you're going for what you're going to buy next, what your equipment's going to be. Here at the studio, I have 3 different cameras. One of them's mostly, I use the J5 for street photography. I have the D800 for portraits, fashion, that sort of thing. I also have a D3300, which isn't here right now, but I use that as a backup if I'm doing weddings or if I'm doing concert photography and I want a little bit closer, and it depends on where they put you. If you're doing the 3-song set in the pit, then I can use that with the 24 to 70 and that'll be fine. And I can use the D800 with the 70 to 200 to get more portrait-like photos there. Lighting 3 to 5 lights in your studio, whether they be strobes or even hot lights nowadays, because you're using LEDs as your hot lights. They're not really hot anymore. the flashes that go on the camera, use those. They're cheap. You can get the Young Vus for like $80. The Canon or the Nikon equivalent will run you about $300 to $500 for a flash. The backdrops, use a blank wall, use canvas, use paper, whatever. Really, it depends on what you're trying to shoot. If you're doing fashion photography, if you're doing portraits, go outside. Find a really nice place in the area, not today because it's raining, but go to the beach, go to a forest, go to a park, go to the side of a building with a brick wall. I once shot a model, I don't have a picture of her up here, that we were walking around downtown Norfolk, Virginia, and I was shooting two models at the same time. Shooting one model up on a set of stairs with some columns, and it was all in marble. Really nice looking. I turn around and the other model is sitting on a trash can in the middle of the street, well, on the side of the street, just watching the shoot go on, and she had her sunglasses on. She was a little bit grungy with the top she was wearing and jeans, and sitting there with cars going by in the background. I turned around and took a shot of her, and it came out amazing. Just sitting on a trash can out in the street. You never know what you're going to find. Just walk around, take your model for a walk, and leave the leash at home, and let her do what she's going to do. At that time, I wasn't using a flash either. I was just out and about with a, actually it was a Canon EOS Elan 2, I believe, at the time. You know, it was black and white film. It came out gorgeous. It was awesome. I miss film somewhat. This week, I want to also be able to try to shoot a photo of myself with a black backdrop, doing a screaming pose, and I'm going to try to edit this live in Lightroom and Photoshop to give a really neat composition of a magician or a mage from World of Warcraft or from Dungeons and Dragons with fire and ice in his hands. So I'm going to try to do that today. And if I can get that done in good time, hopefully by tonight or tomorrow, I will post that as part of this video and move on with getting this posted for y'all. It is April 2nd. I am Chad Nyoaks. This is Photo Thoughts with Beach Breeze Studios. Signing off. Bye!